English grammar. Complete grammar for all purposes. By PRAVIN KENDALE. Tenses. 1. Tenses. There are 3 tenses. A. Present tense. B. Past tense. C. Future tense. Every tense comes in 4 subtypes as follows. Simple / continuous / perfect continuous. A. Simple present tense. B. Present continuous tense. C. Present perfect tense. D. Present perfect continuous tense. E. Simple past tense. F. Past continuous tense. G. Past perfect tense. H. Past perfect continuous tense. I. Simple future tense. J. Future continuous tense. K. Future perfect tense. L. Future perfect continuous tense. Uses of different tenses. A. Simple present tense. It is used 1. To denote habitual action in the present. E.g. We go to school every day. She drinks milk every morning. I wake up early in the morning daily. 2. To express permanent or universal truths. For example, honey is sweet. The sun rises in the east. The moon revolves around the earth. 3. To express actions repeated at intervals. For example, he comes here thrice a month. He writes poems twice a week. She visits that place every now and then. 4. To express truth that can be verified or examined, i.e. scientific truth. For example, water boils at 100 C. Water freezes at 0 C. 5. In broadcasting commentaries on sporting events, etc. For example, Ronaldo definition ends himself, passes the ball, gets it and makes a ball. 6. In dramatic narratives or historic present. Neil Armstrong walks on the moon and he knows he is the first person to do so. Gandhiji utters the words "He ram and dies." 7. To introduce quotations. For example, Khosla says a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Shelley says sweetest songs are those that tell us saddest thoughts. 8. An exclamatory sentence with here and there. For example, here comes the newspaper. There goes the ball. Here comes Sachin. 9. To express an action or series of actions in future or a planned series of actions in the future, a small part of a big fixed future program. For example, the Amba Express leaves at 7 p.m. What do you do next month? The Prime Minister arrives in Amravati tomorrow at 9 a.m. When does the college reopen? 10. Instead of simple future tense in adverb clauses of time and of condition. For example, I shall wait till you finish your work. If it rains we shall get wet. 11. To refer to future time. For example, we shall start when you are ready. Do not release your seat belts until the aircraft comes to a complete halt. 12. It is used instead of present continuous with the following types of verbs. A. Verbs of senses, see, hear, touch, taste, smell. B. Verbs of feelings and emotions, love, hate, want, agree, disagree, feel, desire, hope, prefer, refuse. C. Verbs of mental activities, think, recall, remember, recognize, trust, reject, believe, suppose, think, understand, mind, consider, forget, know, imagine, mean. D. Verbs of possession, own, possess, belong to, contain, consist of, etc. E. Other verbs, appear, seem, look. Note sometimes these verbs may be used in ing form at that time the meaning is somewhat changed. For example, I think of resignation. I am thinking of resignation, I am in 2 minds whether to resign or not. B. Present continuous tense. It is used A. To express action going on now, i.e. at the time of speaking. For example, I am sending messages now. He is playing chess presently. It is raining. B. To express one's immediate plans. For example, what are you doing on Wednesday? We are watching a movie tonight. C. To express a slight emotional overtone. For example, she is always playing chess. Note, it means he generally doesn't play chess repeatedly, but now he is doing it. C. Present perfect tense. It is used. A. To express immediate past. For example, I have just written a letter to the mayor. B. To express that action completed and the effects are still being felt. For example, I have purchased a house. Means I purchased a house and it is still in my possession. D. Present perfect continuous tense. It is used. A. To express an action that started at a point in past and it is still going on. For example, I have been running Z Club since 2003. B. It is not preferred for action that can happen only for a moment, not continuously. For example, I have been dropping the pen for last half an hour, not preferred. I have dropped the pen for last half an hour, preferred. The train has left the station. E. Simple past tense. It is used. A. To express an action completed with adverb phrases of time. For example, he sang yesterday. She left the school last year. B. To express past habits. For example, he swam many hours every day. He went for a stroll every evening. C. Imaginary actions. For example, if I were you, I would take more efforts for being successful. F. Past continuous tense. It is used. A. To express an action going on at a point in past. For example, she was sweeping the room. Children were playing cricket. People were reading books. B. To express a continuous action interrupted by another action with the simple past tense. For example, when he was cycling, someone dashed him. When she was cooking, I knocked at the door. C. To express persistent habits in the past with words like continually, always, etc. For example, he was always crying. The dog was continually barking. D. The simple past tense indicates a deliberate and planned action, whereas the past continuous tense indicates a mere casual and less deliberate action. For example, I talked to the boss yesterday. I was talking to the boss yesterday. G. Past perfect tense. It is used. A. To express an action completed before a certain moment in the past. For example, I had seen him last 5 years before. B. If two actions are interrelated and happened one after another, the earlier action must be in the past perfect and the other in the simple past. For example, when I reached the station, the train had left. When policemen arrived on the spot, the robbers had fled away. He had cleaned the room before her arrival. H. Past perfect continuous tense. It is used. A. To express an action that started in past and remained continue till another point in past. For example, she had been playing from morning to evening. We had been solving papers from December to February. I. Simple future tense. It is used. A. To express future actions that we know to happen. For example, students will come to the class tomorrow at 5 p.m. I shall go to USA next year. B. To express habitual action in future. For example, the rainy season will come every year. Children will keep playing if not accosted. Students will make noise in the absence of the teacher. People will blame others for their mistakes. C. To express prediction, i.e. actions that we guess to happen. For example, it will rain heavily tomorrow. D. To express a decision taken while talking. For example, I'll take a glass of milk after the batch. E to show that somebody is willing to do something. For example, she will call you if you wish so. They won't give us admission in their college after this quarrel. F for asking somebody to do something. For example, Neha will cook the food for next 10 days. Raju, you will buy vegetables for evening. G for ordering somebody to do something. For example, will you keep quiet? Will you get up now? H to talk about what you think is probably true. For example, the next person will be our new teacher, I think. It will be now Mumbai Express. I to express what is generally true. For example, man will not live without oxygen. Batteries will need distilled water. J future continuous tense. It is used. A to express an action that is going on at a point in future. For example, she will be playing Coco. They will be reading newspaper. K future perfect tense. It is used. A to express that the effects of the completion of an action will be felt at a point in future. The action will be completed before feeling the effects. For example, they will have closed the gate by 9 p.m. Will have completed the project by December. L future perfect continuous tense. It is used. A to express the continuity of an action till a point in future. The action may or may not begin in future, but it will remain continue till a point in future. For example, we will have been running the classes for 15 years by 2018. By next week he will have been doing that job for 7 months. Rules for a sequence of tenses. 1. If the verb in the principal clause is in the present or future tense, the verb in the subordinate clause can be in any tense, which must be decided according to the sense of a sentence. For example, wait here till she comes. I will remember that the earth is round. I shall read this book till you reach here. I'll say she has gone to Mumbai. 2. If the verb in the main clause is in the past tense, the verb in the subordinate clause must be in the past tense. For example, I knew that he was lazy. I promised him that I would come on time. I stood first class first because I had studied sincerely. I wanted to know where the hospital was. 3. Tenses in if clause and main clause. If clause, main clause. Simple present tense shall, will, can, must and V5. Simple past tense should, would, could or might and V5. Past perfect tense should, would, could, might have plus V3. For example, if I go to Pune I will meet my friends. If I went to Pune I would meet my friends. If I had gone to Pune I would have met my friends. If he were a bird he would fly in the sky. 4. In conditional sentences, if the verb in the main clause is in the future tense, the subordinate clause of time introduced by when, before, until, after, till, etc. must be in the present tense. For example, I shall wait till he comes. I shall explain the matter when he comes. He will come at my home when I invite him. 5. Simple present as if / as though were. For example, he acts as if he were Jitendra. He behaves as though he were mad. 6. Simple past as if / as though and had been. He behaved as if he had been mad. He talked as though he had known everything. 7. Lest. A. Don't use not with lest. B. Use only should with lest. C. Don't use must in place of should. For example, study hard lest you should fail. Run fast lest you should miss the bus. Walk carefully lest you should fall. 8. If the subordinate clause show the purpose of an action mentioned in the main clause and any of the conjunctions, that, so that, in order that, etc. is used to introduce the subordinate clause, the word may be used when the verb in the main clause is in the present or future tense and might when it is in the past tense. For example, I eat that I may live. I work hard that I may get the promotion. He worked hard so that he might pass. 9. When the subordinate clause is an adjective clause, the verb in that clause must be decided by the sense. For example, I met a girl who will prove her ability. I met a girl who already proved her ability. I met a girl who works very hard. 10. If the verb in the subordinate clause expresses